Kitsune in the shadows below. Feel the pulse of the streets where dreams collide. In the hands of a master, our spirits come alive. Here comes Kyo, the Kitsune with sound. Watch the energy grow. From the depths of the dark to the heights of the sky. Her music sets us free as we dance and we fly. Shadows below. Feel the pulse of the streets where dreams collide. In the heart of the night where the stars ignite, there's a rhythm that's calling, pure and bright. It's the beat of the city, alive and aglow, guided by a kitsune in the shadows below. Feel the pulse of the streets where dreams collide. In the hands of a master, our spirits come alive. Here comes Kyo.
Ohio everyone and welcome in. Good to see you guys. Hi Hez and hi Pit. Welcome in. How are you doing? Hello. Oh. Hello everyone. And welcome in first of all. I'm very sorry that we're a little bit late right now, but I was figuring out some technical issues. Yeah, sorry, Everett has to load in again, so yeah, now he should be fine now for you guys. But as you can see, I'm not
there.
You're here now. It's fine.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it just took a second. Hi guys, and welcome to our second What If stream. Today I am joined by Everett, our lovely party's druid. Yeah, and we're going to talk a little bit about Cathilas, answer some questions, talk about the party, talk about Everett's thoughts so far on the adventure. And also, we're going to discuss a little bit of what could have happened and what would have happened, basically. So yeah, as per usual, you guys in chat can absolutely ask questions. And chat is right now not visible for some reason. Let me fix that. Thank you very, very much, Toasty. Tier 3, 9 months in a row. That's crazy. Thank you very, very much.
So pixelated.
Let me pull. I don't know where's the chat box. There's the chat box. I don't see you that pixelated. Yeah, pixelated for sure. Pixelated.
Pixelated.
Where is my... There's my alert box. Okay. I think he looks fine, actually.
I don't.
It's okay, Everett. There is probably a better technical solution to our problem, but honestly, I think it's because of the way we do this.
Green. And on Video Ninja and OBS, I'm perfectly high resolution.
I think
my output. It's 2K, so I don't
I think
understand
it's actually maybe it's this just the because you're sitting way over there and I'm sitting way over here, and probably it's just that because your data is streamed to me and then streamed to Twitch, so it's probably just losing a lot of stuff on the way. I don't know. I can try to I mean, it's probably also the chroma key I'm using for your background and everything. Maybe it's that as well. I don't know. I think you look amazing. I think you look fine. No problem to be seen here. But yeah, while Everett is grieving his 2K model on my screen right now, which I'm very sorry for, but he usually is in better quality. It's probably my stream. While Everett is grieving his 2K model, first of all, you guys can ask questions as per usual. We will answer that as best as we can, of course. And yeah, also I want to make an announcement again that I made before, like as a smaller comment in one of my previous streams. Actually, last Sunday I mentioned this the first time, and now I'm at a point where I can announce that it is officially not done, but public. You guys, I have been putting a lot of time and effort into a archive of everything there is to know about the fictional world of Cathilos that I created. I've been working on this world ever since I was a child, so about like 20 years or something. And yeah, there is a lot to it, and since I will not be able to put everything that's in the lore neither into the D&D sessions nor into the game that I'm working on, I created this archive so everyone who is into lore and into fantasy worlds and wants to make something of that, or just is interested in the world itself, I have created this archive. And you guys can have a look at that. I will post the link in chat right now. There we go. And yeah, so definitely have fun with that. Read through it as much as you like. It's there to be read. And yeah, if you have a question about the archive, sure, we're here to talk about the entirety of Cathilos. Where I can answer questions about the archive as well. So sure, go ahead, Hess. Oh, the incident with the Sun Speaker was not too long ago, actually. So from the point of time what the archive would call the present, Sun Emperor Sato was the reigning Sun Emperor still. So the incident with Circafes was not too long ago. Not more than, I think, a year, but I'd have to look that up myself because I have made some timelines. Yeah, but about not more than a year for sure.
I'm sorry, I'm eating.
No worries, no worries. I figured as much. That's why I'm answering Hess's questions before we get to you. So don't worry. Oh, Cowboy, good to see you. Hello. Yeah, don't worry. Thank you so much for hopping in and saying hi. I hope your work is not it's not too bad. Hope you're doing good. Satho was assassinated actually maybe um, a few months ago. So the time span between the incident with Circafest and Satho's assassination is basically not more than a year, if that much. It's probably around, oh, I need to look that up. It's probably 9 months, 8 months, about that. Not even a full year.
How was he assassinated?
I'm going to make an entry about the assassination, actually, since that's more or less a historic happening. Let me check, though, so I'm not lying here. It's actually so good that I have this archive now, because before that, I had to check through my entirety of, like, I had so many notebooks and pictures and just papers with notes on them, and I had to look through all of them and look for the specific information. And now I can just, look through the archive. Yeah, sorry, my dogs are in the background. They're very active again. Let me check, though. How was Satho assassinated? Did I not disclose that in here yet? I did not write about that yet, did I? So, basically Satho was killed by a part of his own court. There was someone in his court who knew more than they should about the incident with the Sun Speaker and the whole incident basically with the holy city of Abu Akas. And since Satho and his uncontrollable greed and, very short-sighted acts, this person and some who had their back basically disagreed with Satho enough to poison him during a he had an audience. I think there was an audience held with a diplomat or something, and they poisoned him during that audience. So eventually another country was blamed for the assassination, even though it was not them. I hope not, cowboy.
Did not have a food taster?
He usually does, but like the Sun Emperor usually does have like food tasters and people who take care of like making sure that everything is secure that he touches or eats. But that particular night, he was served by this trusted member of the court, and because it was a private audience, a tester was not present. So yeah. He trusted his servant once, and he regretted. No, they did not know who did it. They did not know who did it. There will be an entry on the person who did it, because that person is very well known among the underground of Heraclius nowadays.
Exactly, has the one time he trusted.
Yeah,
Never
yeah,
trust
exactly.
anyone.
Yeah, that's so true. It goes especially for the Sun Emperor, since, for example, you read about it, and I've been talking about the Heraclean Empire many times on our DnD streams already. The Heraclean Empire is not very liked in basically all of Cathilas, because they're very aggressive and brutal conquerors, if you will. They took control over the entire southern continent, and till this day there are many rebellions going on. They have many enemies, political and in war. There is, yeah. I zoomed in. Yeah, that's why I started my entries with Cenaria and Belovia, actually, so you could read through them, Has. So yeah, Heraclius is basically, well, in style it is more a fusion of the Arabic, like kind of elegant Eastern style, and the Egyptian pyramids, of course, like the time of the pharaohs. But in political terms, it's more of maybe Rome or something, you know, very focused on conquering and controlling. And yeah, therefore, the Sun Emperor has not many friends or people he should actually trust. But yeah, Sappho was, as I said before, very short sighted. He was not the best emperor they ever had. His power basically made him very, very naive. Yeah. Yeah, that was probably, it was a very, very bad move of him in the name of Heraclius, basically, ever since the Holy City had a big problem with them. And many of his own people, actually, because they did not understand why he would consider doing something like that. Yeah. Oh, oh man. Oh, oh, Everett. Well, I guess I'm out. I was bonked.
Bonk.
Well, I'm glad the lighting effects that I set up earlier work for this model as well. Thank you, S with the redeem. Wait, Red redeemed the bonk. Oh my god. Hi, Red. Long time no see. I've been spotting that way too late. To answer your question, yes. In your current timeline, Emperor Satho is already dead. He has been assassinated already. And basically, that just happened a few months ago in your timeline currently. Like, where you are time-wise, it just happened a few months ago. And currently, a new Sun Emperor is being crowned. So you're, like, right in that. Has had a party. Yeah, but to get away from the archive for a moment, as much as I love the questions about it, and I will definitely get back to them in a second, but let's talk about the adventure so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the don't worry, Hess. That's what the stream is for. We're talking about the world, the adventure, everything. But since Everett is here, and I really want to see his opinion on a few things, so let's talk about last week, where we had basically a very interesting encounter with I labeled him the grave tender.
Crypt keeper.
Yeah, the old senile man. Right, Everett, you were the one to actually go back and have a closer look at the cemetery.
Yeah.
The cemetery has a lot of stuff going on, actually, and most of that hasn't been unearthed, literally. So First of all, what do you think? Did you actually see back there? Like, you remember the weeping woman, and when you finally got the keys after the back and forth. Well, what exactly do you think happened? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Like the vision that I saw.
Yeah. For example, yeah. Let's start with the vision. Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, let's start with the vision. How would you interpret that?
All I remember is that it was like a city on fire, and then people were like blaming the girl for something. That's all I remember. And there's ships. There were ships too. It was like a coastal city or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I remember from the vision.
Fair. So combined with what you find out last time, what would you think was that vision? What did you actually see? What was shown to you?
Well, it was a battle that was happening.
Yeah.
Didn't we come to that conclusion?
Yeah.
So maybe it was like some kind of invasion of that city.
Probably, yeah, probably. That's possible, yeah. So, I can't tell you too much about this vision because that can be important later on still. So, I want to stay away from the spoilers, but I was really interested in what you think you saw. Other than that, let's get to something that I can actually answer. Tanaris was very paranoid of the ground of the cemetery. He was he was very, very careful. And he was right to be that, honestly. He was very, very right to be scared. Yeah, exactly, yes. The ground is evil. So
hey, I walked on the ground, I was fine.
But it was fine, and that's the worst part. The ground was fine because you rolled so well on sanity again. The ground was fine. I cannot tell you how ironic it is that you're taking risks sometimes, but like every time it's a risk about sanity, you're fine. You're just doing great. Like with the statues back at the bone mill. It's so funny. Every time I think I've got you. Like, like you're doing something dangerous and you know it's dangerous. And then you're touching that statuette or you're walking on the ground, and every time you succeeded. At this point I'm actively trying to get you.
And times I didn't succeed, I only lost like a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. And then there's Hesperia, and she's really fearing for her sanity because her sanity didn't start off very high, and now it's basically halved. I mean, last time I think you literally took away half of her sanity, or even more. I don't even remember. It's yeah, it's so low. It's so true. Right. What do you think happened? Like, what do you think? Why did Tanaris think the ground is evil? Like, what about the ground could be evil? What's your thoughts of the cursed cemetery, the obviously cursed cemetery? It's like, yeah, true, yeah. It's like 15 now.
Well, I mean, he was sensing. What was his was it his goddess that warned him, or was it Like magical properties to the ground that I can't remember what his like skill check or whatever was.
He casts a spell called Detect Malice. And
Detect Malice.
yeah, he basically can, in a certain radius, he can feel if someone or something is like having malicious intent towards him or someone close to him, like part of his party. So basically, he can make out if someone has like the intention to hurt you or something is cursed in a way that could harm you.
He's probably just detecting himself in his opinion towards me.
But were you the ground though?
Well, I don't know. Maybe in his opinion. No, it's more like there's definitely clearly some kind of curse in the graveyard, and maybe it had to do with the girl, or maybe it's the curse that is causing all these spirits in the graveyard to not rest properly or like pass on. Most likely this curse is what caused the old guy to go insane too.
These are.
But I don't.
These are very good guesses.
I don't really know what it is.
Yeah, fair. And that's why I'm here, to enlighten you. So, that's very true. That is very true, Toasty. You can never trust me. That's a very true sentence. Me as a GM, you can basically never trust me because I like to deceive my players a lot. Yeah, Hess, you did just kind of leave, which is, on one side, it's pretty sad for me because I had so many wonderful traps laid out. But on the other side, it's less stressful for your party. So to give you a general explanation of this cemetery and what happened to it. The cemetery was cursed, absolutely. So Daenerys' role was very, very legit. But what Detect Malice didn't tell him was of what nature this curse is. And yes, this curse was strongly tied to this child that Everett found in the crypt, which is very, very big luck, by the way, because there were 3 crypts in total that you could have looked at and opened. And everything would have shown you something different, like a different part of the reason why the cemetery is the way it is right now. And in one of these crypts, you actually could have found an item, a ring that basically aids with everything that is tied to prayers or divine magic, everything like that. I will not talk about the child because the child can be mentioned later on. Which is also a reason, by the way, why this child and the incident and the graveyard and everything is not mentioned in the archives yet. I will add an entry about that in the archives once the party is at a point where they would have found out about it or missed to find out about it. But right now, since I want to avoid major spoilers, I am trying to, add archive entries whenever the party is at a point where I can add them without being, like, scared I could spoiler anyone. But what I can tell you is that this weeping woman actually was a banshee. That has been guessed many times during the last session. And that was right. It was a banshee who tried to deceive you into basically coming closer, and you could have been drawn into a very, very, very uncomfortable fight because a banshee for your level right now is very advanced. She would have been beatable, but you would have needed some tricks to do that. And your sanity, like all sanity of the party, would have been in danger.
We would have been fine.
Yeah, you would. You would, yes. You would have been fine, probably. Hess would,
Has just get good.
Yeah, Hess is the lowest insanity of the party right now. I know who's going to scale into sanity next time we level up. But yeah, so this the cemetery is cursed by the child because something went wrong upon the child's passing. I've been mentioning this over and over again, and I also mentioned that there were signs of Sharessa on the cemetery. Sharessa tried to help this child pass on, but something happened, and the soul basically got trapped in this very cemetery. There was some malicious activity that caused that, and ever since, the soul of the child and the mother, grieving this loss, were basically trapped there and somehow infected, like, night after night, more parts of the cemetery, until everything basically was cursed into raising undead on one side. You could have been facing some undead people buried in this cemetery who would have been accidentally awoken if you would have opened a different crypt. That aside, not only the cemetery's buildings and grounds were cursed now, but also the only person living there. This man was completely out of his mind for a reason. Because this curse basically wore down his very mind bit by bit. Like, his memory just got, like, very, very severely damaged. And, yeah, you could have saved this man if you would have lifted the curse. But that would have been a small side mission that you could have done. You would have rewarded for that. You would have been rewarded for that. But, yeah, I guess now...
Wait, his mind could have been repaired?
He could have been healed, yeah.
Oh. Well, rip.
Yeah, exactly.
What could we have gotten as a reward? He didn't really have a whole lot in his house.
That's true. You you robbed him before, so... But he was wearing something on him. Which would have... He would have gifted that to you. It was another ring, actually, you could have found... In total, you could have found 2 rings on that cemetery. One in one of the crypts, and the other one would be a gift from him to you guys. And it would have been basically a ring to strengthen any kind of divine bond any of you has. So let's say Hess is getting any kind of divine blessing from Sharessa that basically lasts until the next time you go to sleep, you know, like for a full day. And this blessing, let's say, gives you like 3 extra health points on top or something. It would have doubled that. So it's basically like an enhancement of divine blessings and anything. Yeah, that's true, Hess, but I don't know for how long you will outflip your problems anymore, since your sanity is your biggest problem right now. So I'd be careful with the flippin'. Look at Everett shaking. Look at Everett shaking beside me.
Like freaking out. Oh god. Alright, we're fine.
Are you good? Okay. Yeah, next let's go over to another question. If you have other questions about the graveyard, I'm just, trying to cover a few topics left and right to, give you guys a bit of the fuller picture. But if you want more info, please ask for any details. I will try to give you if I have these. I mean, I should have. But what was in the other crypts? Okay, yeah, that's a good question, actually. I wanted to talk about that, but I somehow forgot. That's a good question, thank you. So what was in the other crypts? One crypt would have been bigger than the other two, and it was actually the crypt of a priest to Sharessa. That was the crypt where you would have found the other ring I mentioned first in. And this would be the only place on the entire cemetery that has not been cursed yet. Like, the curse didn't reach far enough to take over this crypt as well. You would have found out a bit more about the clergy surrounding Sharessa. And Hess, you could have even found a scroll of a prayer that is commonly recited in temples or churches to her, that would actually bestow a blessing upon you. So you could have gained a way to get a minor blessing for yourself. And that blessing would actually, like this scroll, you could have kept it and just recite it every night. So you would have this blessing basically all the time until it's, like, used. Because you can only recite that once a day, like this blessing can only be prayed for once a day, but it will stay the entire day until the next day. And the third crypt is the crypt of the mother of the child. But that crypt has been completely desecrated and destroyed almost. It's like fallen apart, and the corpse of the mother is not there anymore. Instead, you would have had to face the banshee that I mentioned earlier, which is basically the now tormented soul of the mother mourning her child. And yeah, that would have been your small boss encounter at the end of this chapter. But since you never
fought the banshee.
Yeah, because this banshee would have not only revealed upon her defeat, would have revealed the place of her body where she would have, like, where her casket was, but also there were some presents, some gold left behind from other family members that, like, as a last gift to her, basically. And you would have found that as well. And you would have found a healing crystal that is reusable 3 times and heals 25% of your HP. And you would have gained some extra knowledge because there was also a diary that was buried together with her in her casket. And this diary actually would tell a lot more about what went down with her, her child, the family, like what happened, basically. Yeah, on one side it's
So
better
it's
for
the
the
casket.
Yeah.
This is the casket that was in the little crypt.
So, the mother's casket, you would have not be able to find it before you defeat the banshee. The casket was basically hidden away underground. That's why the ground is cursed as well. Yeah, and upon the banshee's defeat, this broken soul would have returned one last time to her corpse, like to her casket and the corpse, revealing it to you, and then disappearing entirely. So you would find the remains and what's left behind, like the gold and everything else. So yeah, That's basically what you missed on the cemetery. But as Pitt pointed out, it's true. It's better for your sanity. There's a reason why fights can be avoided. And you would also have had the chance to just run away from the Banshee if you didn't start the fight. Once you start the fight, the Banshee would not let you leave. So yeah, there's always a decision to be made about like how dangerous is it? How risky is it? Should we do it? Should we not do it? And is it worth the possible reward? Because there can be good reward, but there can also be like just gold or something. That depends on how close you are to each other. If you're like standing in a group and one person starts attacking, then yes, you're all in on it. But if like, let's say one person runs off and attacks the Banshee while you're standing on the other side of the graveyard, you would still have the choice to run off. Which I do not recommend, by the way. This party has to stick together. And that's already hard outside of fights. Exactly, Hess. You're all in this together.
Are we?
No, if Everett had started the fight, I would have stayed. And probably lost all sanity. Oh no! Yeah, right. That brings me to another topic, by the way.
Oh no. Okay.
The topic of sanity. So, I have mentioned this many, many times before. You guys are facing a world that has eldritch features to it. Those who read through the archive a little bit will quickly understand what I mean by that. If you're reading the entry about the Eternal Serpent or the entry about the religion surrounding the Eternal Serpent, you will understand. And that is the main reason why there is sanity in this game with you guys, because there's two ways that you can be attacked. You might not face bodily harm in one fight, but your mind can be attacked very severely. Oh, you read about the Vademecum. Yeah, that's... You understand, Hess. If you've read that, you understand. There are strong Eldritch-inspired features in this world surrounding the Eternal Serpent, because I basically created the Eternal Serpent to be something like, basically along the lines of an Eldritch being, right? So, of course, you guys have sanity, and the higher your sanity, the safer you are. Sanity does not directly affect your character, but if it drops to 0, that will immediately affect your character in the means of your character will slowly start to show some symptoms. And if you do not get your sanity back up, you might lose this character. It's like you're dying, but
Psychosis?
worse. It's probably, yeah, it's like a psychosis,
psychosis,
but like a bad psychosis, like the Eldritch kind of psychosis. No, there
Are
are
we turning into Eldritch beings?
not, more like thralls maybe.
Brawl.
You can like the Eldritch mindless, like you'd become something like these cultists that you have faced before, the faceless.
We're turning into Reaper husks.
Yes.
From Mass Effect.
Yes, something like that. There are ways to bring your sanity back up. These opportunities are rare but very effective. So yeah. you definitely, like, if your sanity is as low as Hass's, for example, right now, and you don't have the opportunity to level up, because that's basically your other salvation. If you're like low on sanity and you can level up your sanity, and that will help you stay sane for longer. But sorry, yes, you're just the best example for this right now. But if your sanity,
she's at 15, right?
Yeah, she's at 15 right now.
Yeah, you're most likely gonna be the one to deal with this.
So you can level up your
example.
sanity to save your sanity, but also there will be opportunities within the story if you like meet the right persons or find the right things. You can save your sanity basically. I'm making sure that whenever there is like a risk, you will have the opportunity. But if you fail, or if you just don't find it, or if you just can't make it in time, or I don't know, things can happen, right? If something like that happens, sadly, that will be the end of your character, and you will have to roll a new one. Me and my sanity are not on good terms, which is not a surprise actually for a Dampier. Always torn between the world of the living and the undead. Yeah, if there are more questions about the cemetery, please ask. Otherwise, I will continue with the next topic that I wanted to talk about, since many people are very, very suspicious of that. And I'm really curious of the thoughts and theories here. I bet Hess has something. Wow, Hess has something to say about that too. So, but I'm starting with you, Everett. So,
Yeah.
What do you think of Calinthana? I know that parts of the party do not trust her, and view her as someone too quiet, too dangerous, too mysterious. So, yeah. Well, what do you think of that?
I feel like if she was going to do something to us, she would have. She could kill us easily if she wanted to.
Fair point. So you're more on the pro Calinthana side.
Yeah. It is suspicious why she like joined up with us so easily. But I feel like if she was gonna do something bad to us, she would have already done it.
Especially since she knows about the Tears of Thara.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very true. I remember the point where the party went wild when you told her about it.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember Hess and Daenerys saying that they do not trust her as much. I don't actually know why exactly. Hess, can you tell me? Can you explain to me what it is about her? It can't hold a secret to save his life. But yeah, so basically currently in the party there's only you who would be with Calinthana. The rest is basically still very, very much struggling to trust her. New person just joins without a care. She's not as distrustful with her since she fought those fair. I mean, she obviously is against the cultists, right? Like she's not friends with them. Very obviously.
Turn them all to stone.
Yeah. Or I shredded them.
Yep.
Yeah, fair. By the way, in the archive, some already saw that there is an entry about Calanthana, but most parts of it are redacted. That is because I don't want spoilers. And, you know, that's why it is redacted. Like, the whole entry basically is redacted. There's just a few, like, descriptive things about her. But most is redacted. That is because of the spoilers and because where the party is at right now. But in time, I will complete that. And by the way, in the archive, you will find a lot of redacted information in some posts. Yeah, it's just because of spoilers. Right. So, I have to figure out how to ask that. Everett.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Sound issues. Give me a moment. That hit different. There we go. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, Everett. Sorry. Can you... Wait. Did I fix... Can you say something, Everett? Did I fix it?
Hello.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Hello?
Yeah, okay, it's working. So... if you're thinking about your character currently and your character's views and feelings within and in front of the party, how would you say does Everett feel about the party? Like, what are his goals? Where is he? Like, you know, how is this relationship with the party right now? Hess is already scared.
Daenerys. I'm fine with the other two.
Sorry, I didn't catch the beginning.
You said I don't like Daenerys, but I'm fine with the other two.
Fair. Fair. What would you say is Everett's current goal? I mean, we all know that that Everett wants to go home eventually. But what would you say is his current next step? You know, like, does he have a plan already on how to get home? Like, what is his what would his next step in this plan of achieving a way home be? To live.
Finding someone at the Capitol who would have the knowledge to get me home.
Fair.
But I think I have to lift the curse. That's the issue. The issue is not getting home. I
Yeah.
think it's the curse.
Yeah,
that
true.
is keeping me from being able to finding someone who can lift the curse that is affecting me.
Fair, very fair. Yeah, you've been talking to the Oracle in Beliang.
Mhm.
And do you remember what she told you?
I took notes. I should. I'd have to read.
Yeah. In the meantime, while Everett is gathering his notes, do you guys have any other questions? They may be also about the information that is shown in the archive. I know that I think Pitt and Hess and some others have already read parts of it. So, is there anything you'd like to know?
She told me to speak with Lisona. Something like that. I don't know if I spelled that right.
With whom? Sorry.
It starts with a I don't Lisona.
Yeah.
Yeah. She told me to speak to them at the Capitol, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
For more information because she didn't have the knowledge.
Yeah. Exactly. So I guess that would be Everett's next step to get home.
Yeah. Go to the Mage School in Skyrie.
Yeah. To the so-called Academia Arcania, which is also an entry in the archive already. I'm referring so much to the archive now because I'm I've been spending the last like Pitt can vouch for that. I've been spending the last 3 full days doing nothing but writing and like making texts pretty. I have been texting so much. Yeah. To answer your question, yes, Belovia is always, all the time, basically shrouded by an eternal night. It's like a huge, twilight canopy is a pretty good description of it. Yeah. Yeah, Pit. We had no time to play games, sadly, because I wanted to, make the archive at least presentable until today. Presentable until today. Because I wanted to, make it official today, make it public. Be able to show it to you guys, because I thought it's a cool addition to the world, actually, and it's a cool way for everyone who watches our pen and paper streams, and also for the players, of course, to, learn more about this world, since you can't read anywhere else about it. It's just the information that I can give. And since we're now nearing the first 100 entries, and I'm not even like 10% done, it's just too much for me to tell in like one stream. I'm pre-writing all of these and then like designing the text a little bit to make it look prettier in the actual archive. But I'm currently looking at about 1,000 to 2,000 entries for the archive. And I'm currently not even done with 100. So telling all of that in one stream is simply impossible. And having the party explore all of that in just this D&D game is impossible. So yeah, that's why the archive exists in the first place. And yeah, exactly, Pit. Turnos is not allowed in Belovia. Absolutely not. Sharissa made sure of that. Yeah, that might actually be a thing that Hess will run into later. Because, as I said before, the party will travel basically through all of Cathilos. I want to give them the opportunity to explore every country by itself. Like, to learn about it, to learn about the deities, to learn about the politics and the religions and all of that, because everything has their own, social construct and everything. And once we get to Heraclius, for example, there will be a lot of Ternas, and that might be a bit, I mean, Hess is not affected by him because she's only a Dampier, but it's still always, for every Belovian, it's not a very nice god, if you will. I'll try to make sure that it doesn't take like 100 years until we're like through everything. Yeah, your father's side will just completely hate Ternos. That's basically what I'm expecting. Yeah, Pitt is a big fan of the sun god. Hess will not be, I can tell that much. Yeah, Everett, are there any questions from your side that you would have? Anything about what recently happened, or about the world, or anything else, basically? Nothing about the future, though. I cannot answer about the future. I can see it, but yeah.
Do we miss anything with like when we attacked the cultists on the road? Were they leading us somewhere? Could they have led us to a camp or something?
So, actually, about this cultist incident, that's actually a good question, yeah. About this cultist incident, there would have been several outcomes. And the one you actually took was the easiest and the least messy one. Let me say it that way. It's the least messy one. Despite you being attacked by not Daenerys but by Sev. Was it Sev or was it? No, it was Sev, right? Was it Sev or Franklin? Wait, I think it was Sev who attacked you. Off? No, you. Who attacked you? I think it was Sev, right?
Sev.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Sev. Right. So, there would have been the opportunity to quietly follow the cultist and try to find out where he was going. And this cultist would have actually led you to to another group of cultists. They would have been like 4 or 5, and if you would have managed to take those down, you could have learned a lot more about the Eternal Serpent, their plans, and basically the religion surrounding it as well. Because you would find some you know, scribbles and texts and signs and whatnot. So yeah, you would have basically learned more about the cult. There would have been no special item that you could have found. No weapon or accessory or whatever. But what you could have found would be a bit more lore and info that you could have used later on for, you know, for your character's knowledge, basically. Everything regarding the cult of the Eternal Serpent is endangering your sanity always, because this cult mostly focuses on inflicting damage to your sanity. They do not care as much about bodily harm. They have weapons, of course, and they can attack you with those, and they can hurt you with those, but be less worried about your HP and more about your sanity when you fight them. In general, by the way. Because, as I said, the Eternal Serpent basically acts as the eldritch part of this world, so everything surrounding them is very dangerous for your sanity. There are other instances, of course, where your sanity will be affected as well, like, for example, the Banshee thing on the graveyard, but, yeah. Everything regarding the cult, dangerous for your sanity. Very dangerous. But yeah, you could have followed the cultist. He would have led you somewhere else. You would have found out more about the cult and what they actually do out there. By killing the cultist while fleeing, you missed the chance, and probably the cultists are fleeing right now because no one returned. . And since this cult is still very, very much outlawed, they do not hesitate to run if they suspect any kind of danger to them right now. And they would have only been like simple cultists, like the one you killed. So there would have been no like major powers or void weaving or something like that. Exactly, they cannot serve when they're dead, obviously. Because one thing the Eternal Serpent doesn't do is resurrect or raise from the dead as like an undead or something. That's not happening. So they gotta be careful nonetheless. Anything else you are wondering you would like to know, Everett? Exactly,
What
Hess.
about like the stuff in like the cave and the granary and everything?
Okay, yeah.
The bone mill.
What? Yeah, the bone mill. Well, what about the bone mill?
What all did we miss there?
So, you obviously missed
Like,
a
all that was in
werewolf.
the cave.
You obviously
Yeah.
missed a werewolf. You could have met this werewolf when... Can't believe I have to say that. But if you would have looked for Gabriel, for Jara's character, there would have been a high likelihood that you would have run into the werewolf. Also, there would have been 2 hyena bandits that you could have run into.
Hyena band, like wargs?
Yeah, like, yeah, something like that, yeah. They're like hyena-human hybrids, basically. Because they're like, in this world exists a lot of hybrid people, and I just made them to be hyena hybrids. Right. The carriage guy! Right, the man you stole
Carriage
horse
guy.
and carriage from. That's a good one.
Yeah.
To answer the rest about the bone mill, basically the main event would have been the werewolf and the 2 hyena bandits. You would have run into the hyena bandits. If you were to, let me actually have a look. Oh yeah, that would have also been tied to you guys looking for Gabriel, because I just... I made the mistake to expect that the party was going to look for their missing member. But they didn't.
You forgot he existed.
Yeah, so, who
I
else?
just thought he was like following us.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. Yeah, true.
Yes. Shush. No, she didn't.
No, she did.
Never happened.
Yeah, that's stupid. They're good at exploring and then leaving. That's really good. Yeah, that's true. It's like the cemetery. They start to explore and then they leave. That's very true.
Alright. Exploring.
Yeah,
Everyone else just kept saying, "We need
this
to
time
leave."
Everett actually tried. He really tried, and I highly
But
respect
everyone else was like, leave, and weren't helping, so.
So about the carriage guy, I gotta look up his name again. I forgot it. Let me check.
Marcus.
Marcus. Yes, thank you. It was Marcus. So about Marcus. There would have been a way for you guys to find out what happened to Marcus.
Ground
Because
is fine.
I was beholden to where Daenerys went. Yeah, true. So the fate of Marcus is sadly not a very good one. You could have found out if
Hey,
you would have
Daenerys is evil.
looked for him. A bold claim, but I cannot disagree. I mean, evil is such a harsh word, right? I'd simply say that Daenerys is
Chaotic
more
neutral.
yeah. That's very fitting, actually. Yeah. So, Daenerys, no, not Daenerys, Marcus. Marcus' fate was not a very happy one, sadly. After you talked to Marcus the first time and about departing, Marcus readied his carriage and was preparing to take you guys with him. But after a while, and before you returned, Marcus was lured away from the carriage and abducted. He disappeared that day, and people did not care to ask about him or to look for him, since most of the people there didn't know him. Who he was abducted by and what his actual fate is, I can only tell you... I can actually tell you who abducted him. He got abducted by the cult. By the remaining cultists that were in the village. Why? I will not explain, because you will be able to figure out that detail later on. Maybe you can actually figure that detail out right now as well. Because it's not that difficult, but I'm just not, I'm just not putting that out here. You can think about why he got abducted after you guys talked to him. But yeah. Basically, he now is either dead or kidnapped. You don't know, but yeah. They want more. I mean, yeah, that's a good reason. That's a good reason, Hess. A bit, as much, huh? Yes. What?
Like I don't know why they would want him. Like the only thing I can really think of is they want it is to either keep us from keep him from helping us, or they wanted his carriage and stuff. But
fair point.
I mean, they failed at doing that because they didn't take any of.
Oops.
They didn't take his carriage. They didn't take the horse. They didn't keep us from grabbing it. Oh, a sacrifice?
Maybe. I'm trying not to spoiler too much. All I can say is the party had some part of a reasoning in there. Do you know of any happy-go-lucky Lovecraft story? That's true. That's true. Right. They left the carriage behind. They even left the horse behind. They did not go to the stables and take the horse with them, or stole from the carriage. Nothing like that happened. But I will leave that detail to your imagination. But yeah, so all I can say is Marcus is not well. Marcus is not doing great. So yeah. It's a good thought, Hess. But it's not that quiet, honestly. The old alchemist? You mean the Lady Daenerys tried to raise up? She is doing okay. She still runs her shop. She's fine. Tried and so yeah, he succeeded. True. Oh man. Very true. No, not everyone. Only nearly everyone. Any other questions? Yeah.
No, this is from like not this chapter. It's from the last chapter. What happened to the blacksmith's wife?
The blacksmith. Oh yeah, the fate of the blacksmith's wife. The blacksmith's wife is she's alive. She's alive. But yeah, she basically is facing the fact that her husband is gone and her child is gone as well. So without husband or son, she basically eventually breaks down, goes into deep depression, had to close up the blacksmith, and she's not running the smithy's shop anymore because yeah, she is not a blacksmith herself. So she had to close down the entire smithy, and yeah, her fate is very sad actually, but still human. She's alive, just very depressed, thanks to the loss of her child and her husband. But, well, actually, it's the loss of her husband and the uncertainty as to where her son went. The barmaid. The barmaid is doing fine these days. She is literally sometimes remembering this weird man in the armor that flirted with her after he basically broke the floor and started a fight. But she's fine.
On the I guess we're still on the road. Was there anything we missed or could have done from the point of leaving the town and to the point of the graveyard, like that was on the road?
Right.
If we
Right.
had stopped.
That's a
anything?
fair question, yeah. So, mostly no, because most of the parts were meant to, give you the time to reflect, think, and plan, basically, because there are many snippets for like the whole story that you got throughout the first chapter, and I was like, okay, yeah, give them some time, if they want to make something of it, give them the opportunity to make something of that. And also there was the part where you travel together with Kalinthana, where I gave you the option to talk to Kalinthana and get some more info about her. You could have gotten more out of Kalinthana, I can tell you that much. She has a lot to tell, actually. After all, there's a reason why she has her own entry in my archives. But you can still get that in the future, so I will not tell you what it would have been. The other
Why
thing...
did she come into the graveyard?
Kalinthana. Well, that has a different reason. I can only say that Kalinthana didn't want to be seen by anyone.
Old man?
Probably.
Or the wraith?
I mean... in general, basically. Yeah, I can't say that, actually. I mean, you will not find out unless you ask her, and she would answer that, so... she didn't know. She didn't know what... Like, she didn't know... She wouldn't have led you to a cursed cemetery. She didn't know about, like, what was going on with the cemetery, and she didn't want to be seen by anyone visiting the cemetery, or, like, by the man, by the old man. She just doesn't want to be seen, basically. So she's remaining in the carriage.
Because we haven't... Did Hess and Daenerys talk to her when they went back to the carriage and left me?
I don't think so. Nothing important, at least. I mean, they came back and they were like, hey, we're back and stuff, but they didn't talk to her, I think. No.
No, you guys are rude. Left her hanging, like, wondering what was going on.
I mean, you're mostly right, Has, honestly, about the forced into Kaldor lamp thing. What, yeah. Yeah, they came back for you. And after that, we ended that session, but yeah, since you will continue on to Skadi, you still will have the time to update her, of course. Don't worry, we'll tell her it was haunted. Hez is going to be like, you sent us to a haunted cemetery, how could you? How could you do that? Oh, that's my alarm. Oopsie. But yeah, she doesn't know for now. She's totally uninformed. Yes. Do we have any other questions? Either regarding the adventure itself or the world itself, or just feel free to.
Who is the werewolf?
Which one? The one from the first chapter or the one from the second chapter? Because those two are different ones.
Who was it from the second chapter in the mill?
In the middle. So that
a
werewolf.
villager?
Oh yeah, that's a good question too, Has. So, to answer yours first, Everett, the person in the mill, in the bone mill, was someone you didn't know. Like, you didn't meet that person before. It was the owner of the mill before. And back in the day when the mill was still used for, like, grain and normal things. And later on became a bone mill. But this man basically got cursed years ago. Because there's two kinds of werewolves, I'd say. The cursed ones and the ones that have been just like born like as a werewolf. The natural born as werewolves, they have way more control over themselves. The cursed ones usually don't. The reason,
like the difference between like a lycanthrope or like and then the cursed ones.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also the reason why they aren't in Balovia. Has the natural lycanthropes, they live in Balovia. They are born there. They stay there because they prefer the eternal darkness above Balovia, of course. But cursed werewolves, they can basically occur everywhere, especially in like in areas where there is a deep forest or some dark magic going on, of course. For example, like let's say in Tivadir, I mentioned that in the archives, or in general in Turnagand, in the like forest country, basically. In Turnagand, there are werewolves there because there is a slight difference between like a lycanthrope, a cursed werewolf, and a wolf hybrid. And in Turnagand, there are wolf hybrids and cursed werewolves, for example, because this curse can happen everywhere. You just have to anger the wrong person, touch the wrong artifact, or come in contact with this curse in any way. And yeah, well, you're basically fucked. This curse can be lifted, but you have to have the right people around you for that. Like, you have to have the right contacts, you have to know who to talk to, because other people, if you're a cursed werewolf, people will be afraid of you. People will be scared of you losing control, because literally everyone or nearly everyone knows that a cursed werewolf is way more dangerous and uncontrollable than an actual lycanthrope. So yeah, this mill owner was a cursed werewolf, and he used to live in Biliang village, but he left Biliang And because of the curse, because he was too scared to lose control, to either be killed or kill anyone, so he started to live beneath the mill. The other werewolf. Yes, you met that werewolf in the first chapter. You met that werewolf, and yeah, you didn't talk to him that much, but you met him in the tavern. He was the shopkeeper, whose shop you never visited, but he was talking to the blacksmith's wife in the tavern, the man who sat at the same table as she did, and he basically acted like a normal human being.
Yeah, wait, and he was cursed?
Yeah, he was cursed.
Was he a werewolf when he was in there?
No, he was in his human form when he was in there.
Like, well, I meant, like, was he a werewolf, though?
Yeah. He was already cursed when he was in the tavern. Of course, he's cursed for many years now. But the curse only triggers.
What was the rules? How do they?
The cursed ones only transform and lose control during a full moon, like very classical. The actual lycanthropes, they transform within their own control. They don't actually need a full moon for that. But it wasn't a full moon, so he was fine. Yeah, but you talked to him, you stood beside him, and he was a total normal man. But yeah, this guy would have been the first... The boss you could have fought at the end of the first chapter. In the logging camp.
That we never went to.
Yeah, the one that you never went to. Because that was basically his hideout. Maybe we wouldn't have smelled dog. I don't know. Maybe. I'm surprised that Hess is not asking me about this, actually. But if we're going back to the bone mill for a second, anyone who was watching that episode, you might remember the little blood wells in there.
The blood river.
Yeah, the little blood river. Yeah, that these things that they came out of the walls in the cave. The reason why there was blood actually leads to the reason why this man was cursed in the first place. And that would have been actually a huge hook for Hess. I'm kind of sad that I'm not getting to use this now, but it's fine. A Bolovian count once traveled through that area during a night, and he asked to stay at the bone mill for a night, for a day, of course, like, you know, because of the sunlight and everything. So he asked to stay at the bone mill for a day until the night would rise again. And the owner of that mill, he was fine with that. He demanded a bit of pay, but the count was fine with it. Although when the vampire was hiding inside the mill, the owner of the mill tried to rob the carriage that this vampire was traveling in. And, yeah, the vampire noticed, got very, very mad, and in Belovian tradition, he punished the man in a way that would not kill him, but torture him in another way. So he turned him into a monster that this man could not control, aka a cursed werewolf. So this man had to hide away as much as this vampire had to. I actually, you know what? I'm taking a note that I will write the story down for the archive so you can read through it a bit more in detail. But yeah, that's basically what happened. And in mockery and to make this werewolf remember him, he basically turned an underground source of water that this man was using before to basically, you know, have fresh water inside his mill for the longest time being. He turned it into a well of blood by cursing it. No, it's fine. And yeah, you could have inquired more about this man. You could have found out more about this count, about this vampire who did that. And, you know, already learn a bit about Belovian culture. And also, you could learn the name of the count eventually as a little, you know, thing to remember and keep in the back of your mind when you're traveling to Belovia at some point in the story. So you'd know that name because that count still exists and lives. And he is in Belovia. So yeah. That's true, Has. There is a lot of stuff that you simply did not find, or like it's okay. Like it's actually normal that you're like missing out on things. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, honestly, I can tell you, you could have entirely missed Calenthana. You could have missed Calenthana completely. You would have even not heard about her, not seen her, nothing.
If I didn't go out and explore?
Yeah, if Everett weren't to explore a little bit, you guys would have missed Calenthana entirely.
My exploring is good.
Yeah, exploring
I've been
is
the one
really
going
good.
out and exploring. No one else has.
Everett is just turning into Dora, you know? Can you say faceless cultist? Can you say the floor is evil? There is a banshee in this picture. Can you spot the banshee? But yeah, point out on the map where the cultists are. Yes, exactly. But yeah, as I said, exploring is highly recommended. I love when you go explore, and yeah, Everett actually came back with a huge story hook. Because that's Calenthana, basically. She is going to be a wonderful story hook, and I'm so glad you found her. See, Everett, you did an amazing job.
Died too. Because that led to Daenerys trying to kill me.
Well, yeah, fair too, fair. But you know, there are always, you know, few discrepancies in the party. A few minor problems.
If he had killed me, what would have happened?
Yeah, you would have died.
Oh, okay.
You would have died, and you would have had to roll a new character.
No piano would fall on him?
No, sadly not.
Go what?
I'm sorry. I can't protect players from anything using my magical piano powers. Only if
Well
they're
said.
trying to, you know, break the laws of this world or the fourth wall or anything, then I have to throw a piano. But since it is possible, you know, for him to attack you, I hope at least I can get Hess to Balovia and or Scenaria. Yeah, I hope so too, because I think, honestly, I don't know which one you would enjoy more. Balovia, though, is very dangerous, I have to say that. And I can tell you that much, Everett and Tenaris, they will not have an easy time in Balovia. I mean, you're a Dampier, you kind of have some advantage here because you're an offspring at least. But Everett and Tenaris, they will struggle. Tenaris because he is himself a necromancer, and Everett because he is like literally the opposite of everything that's Balovia. Like Everett is like life and freedom, and Balovia is like the exact opposite. But Scenaria could be fun. What?
I said if we listen to...
They listen to me, maybe they'd be okay. Yeah, maybe they would. But I don't know. Did you read the entry about Balovia, Hess? Yeah, then you know. Balovia is a very, very dangerous place. It basically plays with your mind and your thoughts and desires and goals, basically, like everything. If you're an ambitious person, Balovia is totally dangerous for you. But yeah, maybe if you listen to Hess, you might be fine, because Hess might still know a few customs around there, you know. And it will be the other way around if you get to, like, let's say Ternagand or something. My slaves. Okay, I see. Hess has ambitions too. Well, yeah. I can imagine Everett, you know, blooming in, like, countries like Ternagand with all the nature and the fauna and flora there. Or in Dinosaur Land. I keep forgetting the name. In Aratoa. I just gotta pretend. Yeah, true. If you pretend, that might save them, actually. That might save them. But I can tell you already, they will not be happy playing your slaves. That's so... That is going to be so funny. Tanaris and Everett.
Not slaves.
Oh. Because they definitely won't listen. No, they will not.
Nope.
Actually...
There will be very defiant slaves.
Oh, Everett, I suggest you read the entry on Balovia.
Okay.
You're not going to have a good time there.
No.
Yeah, that's exactly how this conversation is going to go down, yes. That's exactly it. Oh boy. Yeah. Do we have any other questions? Oh my god, I can't wait to send the party to Balovia now.
Are they all... Is it like undead stuff there?
Yeah, creatures of the night, undead, and ruled over by vampires. 4 very powerful houses. Get in the archive, it's really interesting. Thank you! Thank you! I'm glad you enjoy it.
Why can't we just pretend to be undead?
It's like, if you're not undead, that's fine. The problem is more of, like, who you are. Like, you're... right now...
A necromancer.
Like,
kind of undead.
That's true, but the problem is you're free. You're considered free, and freedom in Belovia is it's a difficult topic. That's yeah, if you're free and you go to Belovia as like a free person that has like no standing there whatsoever, you're not free for long. And you will not even notice until it's too late. That's why Hess is somewhat of a protective force for you two there, because she's a vampire. But yeah. Bad. Yeah, that's a good summary of the situation. Bad. It's just bad. But yeah, do we have any other questions so far? That's true. A pretty elven boy, and then from a different world. That's dangerous in Belovia. That's really dangerous. He'd be an interesting specimen, to say the least.
Nah, I'll be fine.
Especially with that heaving chest.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
No wine for Everett anymore.
They don't have wine in below whatever. Bologna.
Bologna. No, we have no wine in Bologna. They do have wine in Belovia, but I doubt that you'd be served some. His spitty's getting him into trouble. See, Pitt and Hess already got it.
His biddy's getting him in trouble. Unless I'm not gonna be a slave. No. Oh. I'll be a bear and I'll eat them.
Protect the Bishelf. Well, you guys, if there are no more questions for now, if you have questions, please ask. But otherwise, I will go over the archive a little bit more in detail, like how it works, what it's for, how you can access it, where I can get help regarding the archive and everything, who's helped me with it, of course. And after that, I probably will end the stream soon because, you know, our round of questions would be over then. But, okay, so, let me talk about the archive for a moment. The Lost Archive is basically a collection of lore, knowledge about 3 worlds in total that I have created over the years. 2 of them I have not been able to work on currently because I'm all focused on Cathilas for obvious reasons.
What do they want to do with a bear?
So right now, the only accessible archive is the archive about Cathilas, which is more than enough, trust me. We're currently at about, I think, 80 or 90 entries. And we're basically scraping the top here. This archive is currently still in development, and it will be probably for a long time. As I said, I'm looking at about 1,000 entries, 2,000 entries that I have pre-written, that I have gathered info for, And I will also create some more documents, stories, religious stuff, just to fill in some of the blanks. So yeah, this is going to be a big one. I will try to create an overview as neatly and nicely as possible. But yeah, it's all in development, so please bear with me. I know it's a lot. And currently I'm trying to link everything and try to connect everything somehow. But that's a lot for one person. So yeah, bear with me. I need time, and I'm doing other stuff in real life as well. So yeah. There is a ticket system in the archive where you can either request help if you need help, or you can request redacted information. One note on the redacted info, though, is that I have been redacting information left and right for reasons. If you're looking to read through some redacted stuff that might contain only smaller spoilers, I will warn you of them upon request, but I will give them out. If they contain bigger spoilers or some future stuff, some future predictions, or other like really deep lore that should not be revealed at this point of time, I will have to deny these requests, sadly. But you're always free to ask and to try to request something, and I will see how much I can give you. Other than that, of course, I have my two lovely helpers in the archive as well. Pit and Toasty are there, who are overlooking a little bit as well, and I'm sure they will want to help as well when someone is in need of help. Also, there is a discussion channel, and you can chat about things. So feel free to do with all this knowledge and lore whatever you want to. It's there to be read. It's there to be theorized about. It's absolutely there to have fun with it. I love to be creative with my world, but I even love to see it even more if other people get creative with it as well. So yeah, feel free to do that. I'd love to see that. And always, I am here for questions, for anything else. There is a dedicated questions channel as well. I will try to give them answers as much as I can and as detailed as I can. And yeah, absolutely hearts for Pit and Toasty. They do so much for this channel, for me, for my organization. They're just helping a lot. I probably couldn't do all these projects without them. So yeah, so much about the archive. If you want to enter the archive, there is one question that you will have to answer to gain access to the archive. If you need help with the answer to that question, there is a help channel. Send a ticket there, and we'll help you. The reason for this password question thing to gain access to the archive is not for security purposes or anything. It is just a little fun thing. So don't pressure yourself too much about it. If you don't know the answer, or if you can't figure it out or whatever, ask for help. We're not judging. After all, this archive is there to gain info. So if you don't have that info yet, it's fine. Ask for it. We'll help. Yeah. Yeah, I bet so too, Pit. I actually bet so too. That's why I'm saying that. Yeah, that's another thing, Hess. I would love to text you guys in private, or like in the DnD channel when we can do the level up thingy. Since it's not taking long, we'll probably do a quick one during the next week whenever you're free. I can do it individually with you guys as well if like we can't get like a date all together. Yeah, but I will let you know about that because I have to figure out my own schedule a little bit before that. But yeah, other than that, Everett, thank you very much for being here today.
Yeah,
It's
thank
always
you for having me.
no problem. It's always great to not be alone here. So guys,
Sorry I've not been talking too much. I'm actually running a fever, so.
oh my god, Yeah, okay. No, don't be rude. Don't. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't. It's fine. I hope you'll get better soon, though.
That should be. It's only a little. It's almost like 101, so it's like a lower fever.
Yeah, but
it's
still
not
take care of
insane.
yourself, darling. Really.
I don't have tea. I have water. And
No
water.
tea.
No, I don't have any tea.
Oh no. You should get some, honestly. But yeah,
What
nonetheless.
kind of tea should I get?
Honestly, I think any kind. If you have no tea, just get a kind that you like, that you think you like.
Peppermint for sore throat. I don't
Yeah,
have
for
a
example.
sore throat. Maybe. I like St. John's wort and lavender.
Sure, that doesn't sound too bad. Yeah, get that.
What if I just drank hot water?
I don't.
Would that be the same thing?
I mean,
add some grass in.
I mean,
Let it see.
no, Everett's just going
bed.
to. I was just going to get some grass from, like, I don't know. Just get
What?
tea, Everett. Just get tea. It's way more rewarding and tasty. Gonna chew grass with his cats.
Chew grass with the cats. Oh, the
Honey
cats,
does help,
like,
yes.
They can get honey, yeah.
Yeah.
I love how cats will just chew on grass and then throw up, like, almost directly afterwards. But yet they keep doing it.
Yeah. So, anyway, then let's send Everett to rest. Thank you very much for being here. Yeah, guys, who hasn't, please check out Everett. He's a great streamer, he has some great content, and he streams way more often than I do, so definitely check him out if you haven't. And give him a follow, please. And, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. No problem, Hess. I love doing these, honestly. I really enjoy this. I love talking about this world. It's really fun. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got the answers you were looking for. If you have any more questions, definitely ask them in the archive. That's what it's there for. And
That's so gross.
And yeah, other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, night, whatever time it is at your place right now. And thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, and thank you to my lovely moderators, and especially Pit. Bye, guys. Thank you, Pit. Bye, bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
In the heart of the forest where the moonbeams play, Kyo roams freely at the break day. Crystal skin shining, tails gleaming bright. She's a mystical dancer in the pale moonlight. Crystal melodies under city lights. Kyo's music ignites the night. From the woods to stage, she takes flight, spinning tunes of wonder with all her might. Through the ancient trees she gracefully glides, guided by the rhythm of the city's tides. Neon lights calling in the bustling street. Kyo's on a journey where the wild hearts meet. Crystal melodies under city